All right, yo, I'm gonna just want to keep it a bean real quick. I don't care how many hours you have into this game. I don't care if you know how to loop like myself at almost 6,000 hours. You also got veteran players that are like 3,000 hours. They still, getting better in chase and stuff like that. You also got newer players, right? I don't care if you can run a killer for like 10 gens, right? If you do not understand what a 3 gen strat that a killer is trying to put on you, you lost the game. And the game is just gonna drag out forever, right? And your chase is just gonna mean nothing. Like, you know how many times I have looped the killer just to look up and like the gen's still like not done because because of the 3 gen at the end game. First off, before I get into the video, I just want to explain what a 3 gen is. A 3 gen is basically when the killer tries in the beginning of the game isolate 3 generators that are in close proximity with each other and isolate those 3 from the other 4, because it's total of 7 gens that spawn. And I didn't even know this, right? I didn't even notice in the like very beginning of DBD there was 7 gens. I thought, oh, I just have to work on 5 gens, then it's just only 5 gens. Makes sense to me, right? But it's literally 7 gens, right? And basically what the killer would like to do for the end game, because it's a very strong end game, right, is that they make sure that they don't leave those 3 gens that are close together too far, because they don't want you to complete them, because the moment you break it, it's pretty hard for them to defend the 3 gen, right? It's pretty much broken at that point. So before I get into that, I'm gonna explain what a Deja Vu perk is, because I think it's a very gotcha perk. I think a lot of people would love to use this perk. Basically, it's the auras of 3 generators, which are in close proximity to one another, and it revealed to you for 60 seconds at the start of the match, and each time a generator is completed. If you are holding a map that can track generators, generators revealed by Deja Vu are added to the map, and then it also gains a 5% repair speed bonus on the revealed generators. Now, do keep in mind that in the beginning, it will show you this, but it will show you no matter, like, if you complete a gen or somebody completes a gen, it's going to show you another 3 gens that are like the closest together, even if they're not that close. Just want to be clear. I will get into some gameplay. I'm just going to only have 2, because I'm going to break down what the killer did wrong, and I'm going to basically show you why it's hard to defend this in solo queue. But yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. And if you have anything to correct me on, please let me know. But let's jump right into it. Okay, so right now we're in Area of Crow, and I just want to be clear. There are 7 generators that start in each map. You only need to complete 5. And basically, like right now, you see I got 60 seconds to pretty much check out which generators are like nearby each other, the 3 gens, right? So you got the one in main building, you got the one that's to my, that's up there, the one that's behind me, etc. I always try to knock out the main building gen first, because it's really hard to defend against killer, because like look how many like ways and doorways they can come in, right? Especially if it's like a a huntress who can hit you with her hatchet, or if it's like a Sadako that can appear and disappear and stuff like that. I got a BMP just to be helping to speed up the process, because this is no joke. I try to get the main building gen out the way first. That's just my priority. And it's really hard to do this in solo queue, because you got other survivors just knocking out gens. And as you see right now, I'm getting a 5% bonus speed up until my Deja Vu runs out. But it's really hard to do this in solo queue, because even though I know to do this, you got survivors just knocking out gens, and they don't realize at the end, like, wow, why is it taking so long to get gens done? And then the game either just drags out forever because the killer don't want to give up that 3 gen, or you just die eventually. Having a long game. And this wasn't a long chase. It was like maybe 40 seconds or so. But I want you to understand, at the end of the day, it's about wasting the killer's time. That's what I pride myself on. And this wasn't the safest loop against the hunters. This was against like a legion maybe, but with the hunters, you still have to like respect and watch out for her drawback with the hatchet and stuff like that. And this should not have hit me at all. This is BS. Like, clearly this game is irritating this, whatever. But at the end of the day, I want you to pay attention that these gens are still popping while I'm still occupying the killer's time. You don't have to run the killer for 5, 6, 7 gens, dude. You don't have to do that on your feet. At the end of the day, if you're still distracting the killer, as you can see, I see these 3 gens are still next to each other. That's all it's about, right? Now you're gonna see we're gonna get down to 2 gens in the time before she gets to anybody else. That's what counts. That is what counts at the end of the day. Like I said, I've ran killer for 5 gens before, so it's not like I have to prove that. Like, at the end of the day, you wanna waste the killer's time as much as possible. So right now we got 2 gens that we got to complete right now, and as you see, these gens are pretty much spread out apart, because main building gen is knocked out, And I just hate when survivors, no disrespect, but like I feel like they only do that moonwalk when they see got people 100. I just keep doing my gens. I just like, I just do my thing or whatever. It's just kind of weird when I see them do that. Now this is a safer loop, so I was able to mind game this pretty well. It wasn't bad. Again, you always gotta like respect the hunter's hatches because it's a mind game at the end of the day. I vacuum pallet her, and you always want to look and wait before you leave after you stun the killer, because you always look behind you when you run. But you don't want the killer to like fake like they're about to break the pallet and then you end up getting hit. Like, no, always wait. So right now, as you see, we got 1 gen left, right, to complete, but there's still 3 gens on the map. And Deja Vu pretty much allow you to see that. That way you are able to see where is what, stuff like that. And pretty much, I don't know if this killer was going for a 3 gen strat or they just pretty much just played normally and just lost the game. But, the hunter's not easy to do that with anyway. If this was a Sadako, even though Sadako is not stronger than the Huntress, she still have a better chance to defend the 3 gen because she can just teleport. Freddy and Oni, any killer that can pretty much that has this power, they can do that. Now, this game I tried to do I tried to just like focus on breaking the 3 gen if this killer was trying to go for it, or at least trying to prevent it from happening. But it didn't matter. As you see, we had 4 gens. We already got a DC. Right, and the reason why it's hard to win a solo queue survivor at the end of the day is because it doesn't matter what strategy you come up with. With me having almost 6,000 hours into the game, it doesn't matter. If I got teammates that's not knocking out gens, if I got teammates running around trying to get flashlights saved, and I'm gonna show you this in a second, right? Because we already got a DC, so the game's already pretty much done. It's hard to win a game early. Like when killers be like, oh, it's 4 against 1. It's like, well, I want you to understand that we're not as strong as you, we're not as fast as you. So yeah, we need to have help. Like I got a Fang just kicking it for what? And she didn't even go after the Fang. Like she didn't even attack the Fang. Like I just noticed that she didn't even go after the Fang. It was me. She didn't go after the ace that's in the back, just hanging out, having a drink, right? With a flashlight, missing all the time. It's like I want you to understand, like, it's like I don't know like at all like what people expect in solo queue. I really don't. Cause see, my mistake, the killer can make a mistake and chase me all game, which is something that you should never chase a survivor this long. Okay, you should never. I don't care who you are. If you are chasing a survivor this long, you have a problem. Okay, you don't get killer. You're never supposed to chase. Even if you go to the get started and you go to AI and you play against the trapper don't even chase you that long. If the trapper don't chase you that and they hear gens popping, they leaving. And yeah, it's the ego though. Like the ego is, I gotta catch this person. Like, dude, yeah, if you chase me all game, you're gonna eventually catch me. But guess what? If I got a good team, yeah, they're gonna knock out gens. You lose the game. Even if you kill me, you get like a 1K. You still lose the game with 3-man escape. But if you get a DC, if you get 2 survivors just sitting around, just following the chase, just memeing around, then yeah, the killer get to make this mistake and chase me all day. Rather they got slowdowns or not, because ain't nobody on gens. They're just running around, and I'm just proving that I can loop her. Like, bro, I know how to loop. Like, I don't have to prove this. Like, my goal of I don't do this to be fancy. My goal is to try to waste time for my survivors, but apparently that's just how it is, So to wrap things up, it's 7 gens on the map. You want to prevent the 3 gen by trying to knock out the main gens that are together. And you want to try to defend that against killer. If the killer gets that pressure, it's pretty much over with. And you want to try to defend that as much as possible. So I don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if nothing else, have a safe day and peace.